Right, we'll edit that out. I don't know what the fuck that was. Absolutely. So given we're talking about this film, I did not need sudden loud noises.
Good morning, Vietnam! I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
I feel the need for speed.
Roads? When we're going, we don't need roads.
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
I'm Spartacus!
I'm Batman.
I am the father.
Hello.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Didn't sleep. I'm scared my mirror was going to come and get me.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. Although I was reading into what's that? Oh, I can't remember the name of it. There's like a theory where if you look at a mirror in the dark for long enough, you'll start to see.
Well, you
things.
do because your eyes adjust and everything. It was something that it was about years and years ago. In fact, it was kind of when it may have been when I was in secondary school. So you're talking about the 80s here, and it was one of the things. If you stared into a mirror, then it's either your soul would get sucked in, or the soul or a spirit would come through. Because when you look at something, it's the same idea as when you're looking at these like 3D. These fake 3D pictures and stuff. Eventually, your eyes adjust. What's that? You're just concentrating on one single thing, and everything else around it, especially with a mirror, everything else around it disappears. You can just see like the eyes or a shadow or something like that, because your eyes aren't used to spending that length of time open without blinking. Same idea when you look at something that's projected, like an image or something that's projected onto a screen, and then they suddenly flip from black to white, and you can see this image of Abraham Lincoln or something like that floating about. Yeah, aye.
I don't know if it was just my Irish granny, but she used to have these 3D images in her house, and depending on what way you stood at them, it was either Jesus on the cross or Jesus with his pals. And if you stood somewhere sort of in between, he was sort of half crucified, half at dinner, depending on what angle you were at. I don't know if that was just my gran, though. I'm sure there was other Irish Catholic grannies in Glasgow with weird pictures like that up in their house.
Of course, yeah. My gran had a wee... It was still one of the ones up in the wall. It was Mary, and she was like tacked onto the wall, and there was a wee bowl in it, so you could put holy water in it, and you could dab yourself and do the sign of the cross when you walked into the house and all this. Yeah.
Do you know, every so often, like, I read things, like, I'll go and read, like Dawkins or, like, some Christopher Hitchens or whatever, and I'll be like, do you know what? It is all just a fairy tale, blah, blah, blah. And then I'll go and see a film like The Conjuring last night, and I'm like, oh, fuck this, I'll have rosary beads in the house. What happens if they become possessed?
Yes, well, I don't know how much good rosary beads would have done you last night.
I know, in fairness, actually, yes, it did seem like they weren't doing much for her in the film. So, but it's funny because it is one of these things where like a lot of horror and a lot of like possession horror and stuff like that is like super Catholic heavy, obviously, because the like priests perform exorcisms and stuff like that. So it does take you back to a wee bit of fire and brimstone preaching of your youth that you might have experienced. So it does make you wonder, like, oh God, should I pay attention to this a bit more? Because maybe it is real.
Yeah. Or the fact that if you haven't paid attention to it for all these years, does it actually really matter?
Yeah, that's true. I don't know any Latin, to be honest with you. I feel like this is me and my friends, we're talking about. She's obviously Catholic as well. And do you know how like a while ago, it must have been maybe like 10 years, maybe more, they like changed some, but not all of the words to like quite key prayers in Mass. And I feel like that was to catch out like the part-time Catholics who maybe only show up at like Christmas and Easter, because you wouldn't know the right words to whatever they were saying. Yeah,
quite right as well. It wouldn't bother me. I know certain prayers off by heart just through learning them by rote. I'm sure you do as well. Yeah. You know, so there's certain ones that you just know, and it's just ingrained now, and you can't. I mean, the only time I tend to go to any sort of like chapel or church or anything is for like funerals, stuff like that. That's what it tends to come down to, you know, and that's the only time where you actually say any of the prayers. And as soon as it starts, you know the words. It's just been there all the time, you know.
Being a good Catholic means that whenever in Star Wars, Whereas you hear, may the force be with you, your automatic response is, and also with you.
Oh dear, oh dear.
It's just everywhere, so it is.
So was the screening busy last night?
Oh, absolutely heaving. Like,
Oh, good.
but with a lot of young'uns. Actually, hilariously, we did see two friends who were two in front of us in the queue to get in, and they were debating back and forth about, because one of the girls was obviously, I think she wasn't quite 15 yet, and they were like, your pal can go in, but you can't. And so they'd asked to speak to a manager and stuff like that, so they were sort of kicked off to the side. So we went in. When about 10 minutes later, we saw the one girl who obviously was 15 go in by herself. So she'd obviously ditched her pal and thought, I'm going to go and see this film. You can just wait outside.
Wow. Yeah. You go away and see whatever cartoon is on. Yeah.
Yeah, the Smurfs or something like that. And I'll go and watch the grown-up stuff. Yeah, no, it was absolutely mobbed. I don't think there was a single seat left, which
Brilliant.
I've not seen that in a wee while. So that's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I suppose opening weekend and everything, but it's good to see, I suppose.
Yeah.
And it is going a bit more autumny, so.
Yeah, so it feels like the proper time to start the spooky movies.
Yeah, and people will, instead of doing something outdoors on a Friday night, they'll say, well, we'll go to the movies because it's starting to get darker a wee bit earlier and it's a bit colder and all this sort of stuff, so yeah.
And it's been lashing down all week as well, and we've had no Wi-Fi since like Tuesday, so I feel like we've been living in the dark ages. Everything's been done by candlelight, and we're reading books because we've had nothing else
what
to
happened?
do. So on Tuesday night, the router just started like flashing and there was just no signal. And so we phoned EE and they said there was like a fault in a cable somewhere. So they were like, oh, we'll send you out a new box, but it'll be like Thursday before it arrives. And we were like, well, we work from home, so we kind of need this like as soon as humanly possible. Appreciate it's Tuesday night, just do whatever you can. But we got a wee like mini hub that arrived at like 7:00 on Thursday night, which wasn't great. I mean, you could get your phones powered off it, but nothing much else. You'd have to actually plug it into your laptop for it to do anything. And then literally just as about 5 minutes before we left to go to the cinema last night, the actual replacement hub arrived, thank God. So we just get that set up and run its thing while we were out, and obviously that's it working again. But they didn't really say much beyond that it was like a fault in a cable, but I don't know if that was at their end or our end, or we'll fix now.
Well, sounds as if it was the box, doesn't it, if they've replaced it and it's working.
Yeah.
But yeah, you never know. They could have been working away in the background. The box might not have made too much difference. But yes, it's the dark arts of these things. It's always fun and games with it. So
it just felt like quite a long time to be with. Like, I know that obviously that's the first world problem, but if like Tuesday to Friday to be without internet, especially because people do work from home and stuff like that. We were fortunate enough that we were babysitting a couple of cats for our neighbour. And we were like, basically, can we use your Wi-Fi while we're doing some babysitting so that we could actually get some work done? And the two cats were like behaving like they were in WWE SmackDown. So that was
of course,
fun experience.
No, I know you say that it's kind of first world problems. It is in a way, but it's more important because you are working from home. It's not just, you can't go into the internet. It's different when you're doing that. So yes, it is relatively important. It'd be important for me as well, since I'm working from home the majority of the time as well. So yes, I totally understand. It's a pain because you tend to rely on these things. I mean, like we are doing at this moment in time.
Exactly.
Because we, dear listeners, we are not in the same room, It doesn't work that way. It's never worked that way for us. So, it makes sense that we rely on internet connections and all that good stuff in order to Oh
yeah, I mean, I had commandeered if the actual router hadn't arrived, I had already booked, as it were, the mini hub to plug directly into my laptop so we could do this morning. I was like, you can go and do other things because I need to get this podcast done.
Yeah. But doesn't Chris usually be out and about on Saturdays and Sundays?
He's at a car show today because we're going through to Edinburgh tomorrow. But then I was like, oh my God, don't leave me in the house by myself, because if we're talking about this film and I hear a creak, I'm going to be freaked out.
I thought I was very gentle last night because you sent me that picture of your mirror and you sitting there, and you've got a picture or something behind it. Or it's
Alfred Hitchcock's rope.
Yeah, and I was going to say, is that a head there? I could see.
Oh God, John, I would have died.
But I didn't. I thought, no, you're freaked out enough as it is.
We got home and I was like, oh my God, the whole house is in darkness. I was like, we can't go up the stairs like until all the lights are on. And of course, Chris came down at one point and he was like, right, you've got like all the lights on. Like some of them can go off now, surely. And I was like, no, there's the big mirror in the room as well. Such a shite
That's
bag.
like, no, that's like Julie. When Julie is in this house on her own, she puts all the lights on in the house.
Yeah.
Just like
Safety.
upstairs and downstairs. Yeah, and then goes out and leaves all the lights on. And we come back like 2 days later if we've been somewhere and we find like a random light on, or the light on the bathroom upstairs has been on for days, and that's connected to a fan, which is just when you hear it, whoo, what annoying. You're thinking, Jesus, you know. But yeah, she does not like being in the house on her own. I think it just kind of freaks her out a wee bit because she's so used to being in the house with at least a couple of people there at all times, you know. So yeah. Whereas I like it. I like being in the house.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. 9 times out of 10, I do like being in the house by myself. I'm very comfortable in my own company, but it's just when you watch something scary like that, it's like if we watch a scary movie in the house, I have to then go and find like an episode of Family Guy or something on ITV2 so that I can watch that before I can go to sleep, because then that'll be in my head and not whatever the hell I've just watched.
Yep, I know what you mean. No, it's happened very seldom to me, but it was like the first time I saw Aliens, I got a bit freaked out because of the scariness. And that's set in space, for fuck's sake. You know,
I know.
It's not as if, you know, I was sitting in
going there.
Yeah, I was sitting in a flat in Shawlands at the time watching it. I was thinking, this is ridiculous. Mind you, obviously now with the new TV series Alien Earth, then yes, it is here as well.
Are all the episodes for that available yet? I'm going to try and watch them all.
No, they're doing them.
Is it one a week?
One a week. I think there was 2 in the first one, and then now it's one a week. I've watched 2 of them.
Right,
so.
I'll wait till there's a fair chunk.
They're decent and good. I think you'll probably enjoy them. So yeah, it's good stuff.
A few people that I know, like AJ Black, that does the Modern Horror podcast, he's doing a podcast on the series, and he was like, well, I can't say anything, but it's brilliant. So that made me feel it. And then a couple of Chris's friends that have watched the opening episodes have said it's really good. So I'll keep it for a wee binge, because there's that. And also I saw the trailer for Charlie Hunnam as Ed Gein Monster. So I'm going to, hopefully they'll all drop at once as well, because that looks like exactly television that's made for Mary Munoz personally. That's what that looks like.
Yeah.